Hi, Jason Yabanich here from Create PT Wealth, and in this particular edition of a personal trainer's guide to wealth creation, I've got a special guest, Damien King, one of the founders from Pummel Fitness, and we're fortunate enough to have Damien come on and talk about how he's making an impact, or their company's making an impact in the fitness industry and making life a hell of a lot easier for personal trainers. To market and to get their services out there. So firstly, welcome, Damien, and thanks for giving up your time, mate.
Yes, thanks very much, Jason. Great to be here and to chat to everyone out there listening.
Yeah, now we met at the Brisbane Fitness Expo just a month or so ago, and one of the things I love about going to the expos is that you do meet other passionate people in our industry who really are aiming to make a difference out there. I guess just firstly, mate, just give us a little bit of history about who Damien King is and your background, and mate, so that the people listening to this can get a bit of a sense of who you are and where you've come from.
Sure, thanks, Jason. Well, you may imagine that I'm in the fitness industry, but I've actually never been in the fitness industry.
Yep.
I'm a technologist at heart, so I sort of grew up learning my trade, doing a little bit of electronic engineering and getting into coding at quite an early stage, and so web development was sort of my early sort of career. I travelled a lot around London and worked for a lot of big firms in the UK, companies like the BBC. I spent a lot of time at Virgin Media, delivering at Virgin mobile apps as well as set-top box apps and any type of, I suppose, rich video delivery from video. So very much like Netflix, video on demand was one of the projects I worked on there,
Nice.
as well as music. I did quite a lot with music. I did music streaming here when I came back to Australia for a local company in Queensland called Gavera, where I was the Chief Technology Officer for Gavera. And delivered a global platform. So I suppose my background has always been technology and startups. My first startup I founded was in the UK called Be Liked, and that's a social promotions platform. So very much at an early stage back in, I suppose it was around 2011, and that was probably the start of social media for me. And our first customer was National Geographic. And it was all about running social campaigns. So I sort of had this mixture of technology and social media and things like that as a background, but never quite fitness.
Yeah.
However, having said that, I've been one of those people who, if you were to put me into a target market, was someone who needed to use a personal trainer and has used a personal trainer on and off. And for me personally, someone who is a customer of a personal trainer, I really recognize the benefit of using them, mainly because I was extremely busy and I find it very difficult to get motivated to be able to get out of the office when I'm working late at night and really big days to try and get motivated to get into the gym or to do some sort of exercise.
Mm. Yeah, pretty common. I think there'd be a pretty common theme amongst people on that one. But mate, firstly, your background's really extensive in terms of some of the companies you work with, and some really big names and big companies there. So, so the main driving force, and if we move on to Pummel, like was that one of the key things that then, I guess, motivated you to get this service that you've created out there? Just really curious about how this whole thing formed. I know from a customer point of view, that was one of the things that sparked it. But how did it all come about, and where's Pummel from?
Where it's from, yeah, that's a good question. I've always liked health technology, or health tech is what it's sort of called now as a buzzword for startups. And
Is it?
Yeah, I've been wanting to do something in health and fitness for some time. So I sort of had that in the back of my mind, but also it's becoming pretty amazing how many people, despite all the information you have, really suffering from health.
Mm.
My situation, I went to the doctor, and although they call me a skinny fat man, although I'm pretty slim, far too much coffee and chocolate, and I've got quite high cholesterol and all
Mm.
sorts of things. Although I was quite physical, sort of doing sports on the weekend, it just wasn't getting through. So there was a combination of things. One, it was my own health that was a motivator. Two, it was my interest in sort of the area. And then also, I was meeting other people in similar situations, like my wife, who had had a couple of kids at the time as well, wanted to get fit and to sort of get motivated to get fit, I suppose.
Mm.
And so I started to look into it and to talk to more people. And it sounded as if most people um, couldn't really afford a personal trainer, or they hadn't really tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as a service, I think it's a service that everyone should have if they can afford
Mm.
it. So, the ultimate goal would be to allow everyone to have a coach or some sort of trainer to help them improve their health.
Yeah, and
Uh, yeah, I was just going to say, when I started researching it a little bit more, it became sort of apparent that there's no sort of, so there's lots of apps out there, but they're very fragmented, and a lot of them are based around sort of robo advising, where you're basically getting artificial intelligence to perhaps try and motivate you to do things, or they're just logging data, but they sort of really lack the motivation you need to get out and get into the gym and have someone right next to you,
mm,
saying to keep working harder and faster.
it's an interesting point that you made, and you made the comment about the tech, like all the information out there, and in a day and age where you can Google anything, YouTube anything, yet people still are, severely overweight, out of condition, and unhealthy, probably more than ever. So it's not, if it was just about the information and knowledge, there shouldn't be this, obesity epidemic that's going on. So I definitely strongly agree with you in that area in terms of it's just about the knowledge. Everyone should be sorted, but it is having that expert, and it goes deeper than just the knowledge of following along with a training program or YouTubing some exercises. It's, really needs to be personalized for each person, and then getting into the mindset side of it as well.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a real. I mean, when I did statistics on this, they're crazy numbers, right? It's something like 3.4 million deaths are caused by overweight and obesity, and it's actually a 47% increase in children since like 1980. There's one of these quotes that you can sort of find. So, and that's despite the fact that, as you say, there's more workout, more information than ever before, and there's more diets than ever before, and there's more, diet food than ever before. This is, you guys know all this stuff, but
Yeah.
from an outside, sort of stop for a moment and stand back and look at what's actually going on in the industry. You go, hang on a second, this is just making no sense.
Yeah.
uh,
Doesn't. That's right. Not
yeah,
logical
so
sense anyway. Hey.
exactly. So yeah, I started to sort of do research and find out more information, and then it was sort of some of those other things as well that were problems that I wanted to solve, like the actual, when you again sit down and you logically work through how you find a personal trainer and the process you go through. I found some of those things a little bit grating. I, for one, because I've sort of been corporate, I would always just sign up to a gym, and then I would get whichever personal trainer I assume needed a lead. So I wouldn't really have any control over it.
Yeah.
And being a sort of semi-techie, not quite introverted, but on the edge, what I mean? You get yourself into a situation that you're signing up to something that you find difficult to get out of. It just seemed very awkward, the whole process, each time I'd go through it. Um, that was one big thing. And then also it's, actually trying to know whether or not that trainer will bring results for you. And I think a very easy example is someone like my wife, who's had two kids, is probably going to work better with, or feel much more comfortable with, perhaps a personal trainer who's gone through the same experience and knows exactly what it's like. So just because my wife is a personal trainer shouldn't mean that I should use the same trainer that she has.
Yeah.
You find the best trainer for you. So this is where I sort of started to think, well, there's got to be a better way than also just trawling through the internet looking for if you don't have that great contact who's already using a personal trainer that can highly recommend it, then the only other way is sort of trawl through the internet to find them, which can be time consuming and also difficult. There's places like Gumtree, which I think the majority of people would shy away from trying to hire someone off Gumtree. So where'd you go to find someone who's been sort of vetted, and you can see the qualifications and you can see the results.
Yeah, I agree, and I guess that's, again, I like that you're coming also from a consumer point of view, someone who's wanted to get the trainer and have that experience, and you've had the experience of how challenging it can be a lot of the times to know who is right to use rather than going to a gym. And you said like you've probably been given to the person or the trainer that's new and needs the leads, because that's the way they work. So, mate, I love the way that this is, the way that this is being developed. And so that's from a consumer point of view. What's the, I guess, as a trainer, and people listening to this will be majority in the fitness industry, having their own business. Then what was the real benefit for the fitness professional who's running their own solo business or a team of trainers, whatever it may be? What's the real then the bonus for the trainers to have a system like this that they can utilise?
Yeah, there's quite a few things, and we're in the early stage. As you know, we haven't launched into the App Store yet, but we're hoping to launch shortly. But our first version of the app, there's going to be benefits for the trainers straight away. The first one is it's mobile first, so you get yourself a nice mobile profile where you can put your qualifications, you can put your achievements, you can put your specialties, you can link through to your website and to your Instagram and your Facebook, and you can post photos all in one sort of spot. So that's nice to be able to get that profile up in a marketplace of other personal trainers, so that you can sort of be amongst the best trainers who are in your area, in your location. So that's one, is you're getting a mobile presence to promote yourself. But two, you're also going to improve the leads that you get. So I've already had some feedback from personal trainers who want to be quite selective in the leads they receive. So when I'm a consumer and I'm on Pummel and I find you, Jason, as a trainer, I just send you a message to say, look, I'm interested, and that's basically a lead for you. So you can log in, you'll get a notification that Damien's interested in finding out about your services. So you'll see a little bit about me straight away. You'll see what I look like, what my background is, and potentially we're going to add that you also get to see the goals that I want to achieve straight up. So it could be that you go, well, this is the type of person I know I can work with. I know I can, this is the goals that I know I can achieve. And so it's a really high quality lead. And in the same way, there could be, say, take a personal trainer who specializes in pre-post natal. If someone came through that is looking for other types of specialties, she can reject that. She doesn't have to give her phone number or anything like that. It's all kept within the app. So there is a level of selection on both sides. It's not just one side. It's not just the consumer selecting the PT. It has to go both ways. So we're trying to say the quality. You may not get as many leads as you would on some of the traditional social media platforms from day one, but as we build a community and as we get our name out there, we think the leads will be quality from day one.
And I like that, and in our 2-day seminars, I talk about that a lot. I talk about going, well, I say to people, who would like 100 leads in a day, and people go, oh yeah, it'd be great. And I go, secondly, who would actually know what to do with them, And most of the people attending our seminar go, actually, I would have no idea what to do with them or how to properly, get back to those people, because not having a proper structure like what you've got here. And then third, I go, well, is it about the amount or about the quality? And what I like about when we were talking at the expo, the thing that I liked was what you just explained then, is that I, after being in business for a long time myself, and you can spend a lot of time with consults, free consults, and interviews and sales appointments. People that weren't really a really good fit to start with. So what I like about this is if you were getting even, 3 or 4 consults per week out of this, they were high qualified. That's going to be way better off than just trying to sift through a bunch of possibly potential people that aren't a good fit for you and your business. So that's what I really liked about what you just explained then.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of trying to go for the high quality people as well, like as a quality product, which makes sense to the amount of leads going through as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you've probably, obviously, you're highly skilled in the social media area, and you probably see a lot of people advertising, get an abundance of leads and get all this, but as you know, and we know, it's just a really small part of the jigsaw. It's rather get those real quality leads coming through. Which for the average trainer, that if they can get. If they're getting 5 quality leads on a day coming through, people who actually are more serious about doing something and it's a good fit, that just changes the shape and direction for most of these solo independent trainers out there. That would be lucky maybe to get a lead or 2 every month, because they don't really have a system or structure or platform like this to have some consistency out there with it. So, mate, sounding very exciting. What I know in a moment people can see the screen here, of course, which is your main website. You can also see the phone app there. But mate, is it time now? Do you want me to switch over and do you want to be able to show the guys what it would look like to go into the actual app itself, or what would be most ideal for you at this point to show them?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to show the guys that for sure. But I just want to touch on one other thing about the benefits to trainers, and
Yeah,
that's
go for it.
you got to do with retention as well, which I think as a consumer, particularly my demographics, which is obviously urban professional, which is often the lead you sort of want, who has disposable income and who's happy to pay a serious amount for a trainer and things like that. Those types of people tend to want to see results and return on investment and things like that. And again, with my own experience, I found really disjointed communication between trainers and myself
Yeah,
over the
gotcha.
years. Some are amazing and some are
Yeah.
terrible, as I know. Uh, but
That's
so
fair.
I've sort of I've built that into the app as well, and I wanted to sort of take that approach that it's not a tracking app or anything like that, but at the very basics, each time you do a workout with your trainer, we're going to try and encourage the trainer just to take a photo of you and just put a note down on what it was that you did at that particular time, and then that will automatically appear up on the client side of the app, and the client will be able to give you a rating in terms of, was that workout, was the intensity too high, or was it right, or how did it feel, and things like that. And so there's sort of a basic tracking, I suppose, of the amount of effort that you've put in and received from this personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that messaging as well, so it has in-app messaging, there's a whole communication system in there so that you can keep on motivating your client, because ultimately the people who are paying for a premium service are expecting a premium service, and SMS is not necessarily the best sort of, it's quite intrusive SMS, but in-app messages is quite a nice way to sort of just remind people, have you been sticking to your nutrition plan, or just a reminder, we've got a session tomorrow morning, don't go to bed too late, whatever it may be.
Yeah. And just on that, mate, one thing I'm not sure why I thought of it when you were speaking, but and this may come up when you're showing the actual service itself. But, say my profile's up on the page there, and you're scrolling through, and I'm in the right area. It looks like I've had the right skill set or qualification to match up with what you're looking for in a trainer. Is there also like reviews, that people can leave, or is that something that is part of it? Like, I was just curious to go, look, there might be a part there for some case studies or people that have used my service. Is that something that would happen?
Yeah, so we we did actually have like a 100-point rating system in the app, and we were going to build it into the first version. But the more I sort of got to talk to personal trainers, the more they, well, I sort of saw a common theme, which is the information that they thought would be valuable was like, was the session too hard or too easy for the
Yeah,
person?
gotcha.
And sometimes as a client, you're too embarrassed to say at the time, or, only the client knows, right? And particularly
Yeah,
if you're repeating, a program that you did maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, when your trainer says, hey, we did that 2 months ago, and last time you did it in, if it's a Tabata thing, you did it in this, time. So we thought it would be quite nice for the client to actually just give that feedback. But yeah, we certainly are thinking about ratings. Yeah, it would be interesting to find from your audience how important that is to them as well.
yeah. I was just thinking. I mean, I just know with some other services that I'll use online. I mean, one thing you might go and you'll hear the feedback about a particular product. I really enjoyed it, the taste, whatever it may be, and I find it. Yeah, it's just interesting that it could work probably both ways. I guess there might be some hesitation. People going, I'm not sure if I want people having free will to go and talk down my service. But on the flip side, I guess if you're doing a good job and you're trying to do a high standard, then I guess you'd be cool with people having that feedback and comments about
Yeah,
the actual service delivery.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I think the nice thing is it's like it's a safe environment. So the people who would have the ability to rate would be someone who you have actually given, a 45-minute workout to. It's not someone just random who has
Random.
access to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
exactly.
it end up being like a client. That's what I was probably thinking more. So be more like a satisfied client who's been working with you for a while, and I guess it's basically a testimonial of your service.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, mate. Is there
Well,
anything else that you'd like to cover, or anything that's would be important
well,
for trainers to know?
yeah. I think that, like, I mean, ultimately the mission for Pummel is to improve people's health, right? That's sort of
Yeah,
the bottom line. And we strongly believe that, that personal one-on-one um, trainer, nutritionist, whoever it may be, your coach, is the best way to achieve that. Even if it's only for a period of time, that you need, to be kick-started for like 3 to 6 months, and then you've got the motivation to go on after that. Um,
yeah,
that's our core thing. But being a technologist as such, I also see Pummel being like a motivation platform where we can do some of the more techie things where, I mean, we can have automated reminders. We can have health kit integration where as a client, I could choose to share my health kit information with my trainer. So we want to build in more and more sort of techie things that will improve not only the client but also the service that the trainer has. And ultimately, the client always retains all their information. So if they were to swap trainers, they pull all their session information over, they pull all their health information over, etc. as well.
So one of the things also that I guess I'm always thinking also from the business perspective in terms of the fitness professional who's watching this, and one of the things that we often encourage people is go look, make sure that there's plenty of opportunities for you to be found out there in the cyberspace, bit of your Facebook page, and I'm not going to get into why or how that should be done. However, just I do know that people search in this day and age, and if you can't be found, then obviously you're not going to get the job or you're not going to get any business, or it's going to be challenging. So, but I'm assuming that this is one of those other good elements, and I'm coming from a bit of a playing the devil's advocate here, where I'm assuming that the whole benefit of this for a trainer is that if people are going to start typing in, look, I'm looking for a personal trainer in Brisbane here in Stafford. If I'm on Pumble and I'm in that location, then obviously that's going to give me a greater chance of coming up on your site and possibly their own website. Is that also the case? Just so we can be clear for the trainers who may want to be using your service, that's one of the benefits.
Yeah, that is one of the benefits, but it's interesting to note that this is a mobile app. So
Hmm.
look, I've done years with SEO, and I think
Yeah,
before when you type Pummel in, you could see I was number one already on Pummel.
yeah,
And if you do personal trainer app, Pummel as well is on the first page, or an app for a coach, we're already number one. So So that's the SEO side of things. But in the old days, people would always go through Google, whereas it's happening more and more that people are actually looking for apps to find a personal trainer. So the people may actually be looking for what we call a virtual personal trainer.
Yeah,
Um, that could be their initial thing. So they've opened the App Store and they've gone personal trainer app. So that's really where we're going to push our sales and digital marketing things within that, you call it App Store search. And so anyone searching for personal trainers within the App Store will see Pummel. And what isn't sustainable, Jason, is like every personal trainer having their own app.
yeah,
Um, it's not going to work. Yes, if you're a highly influential trainer, then it makes total sense that you can have your own app. But it's much better to actually have a marketplace where people come and all the trainers are together and you're sort of able to, browse amongst those trainers. It's more cost effective and it's better for the client ultimately. They don't want to install like apps to see which trainer is best.
So great. It was a great point covered because that's what I get asked a lot about the SEO still, and that's a great defining point there. Hey, you'll have your website and all the other things that are geared towards natural search and optimization, but then also, like you're saying, it's moving also in the direction where people are just wanting apps and using apps for all different kinds of things, right? Food. Hiring cars, Uber, the whole lot. So it's definitely moving in that direction. And I'm assuming like someone who may even travel and work a lot, I travel a lot. If I'm the reason an app would be great like this, because I'm in Sydney, I go, look, I wouldn't mind just getting a trainer while I'm down here, doing some work for the next 3 days. And instead of me searching through bloody Google and I've got the app there like Pumble, I can get on and away you go. I'm not having to try to muck around looking through a million websites to find the trainer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think um, the people who will want to be on Pummel are the people who are obviously a little bit more tech savvy, a little bit more digital minded. They're not perhaps the personal trainer who's already got enough leads and,
Mm-hmm.
is done with mouth and whatever it is. So I think you'll find that the quality of the trainer will be much better as well on Pummel. That's what we're sort of aiming to have, sort of and maybe we won't have 1,000 trainers in Sydney, but we might have,
Yeah.
the just 50, which is actually much easier. So something I didn't mention, which is when I first set out on doing this, I started to build a patent around matching consumers with health and fitness professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have a provisional patent on that matching system, so that eventually, as we learn about you as a client and as a trainer, we might be able to provide you better quality leads by making some assumptions about past history and other things. Um, so yeah, it's quite an interesting thing that we can actually cut down the time that it would take for you to find that trainer when you were down in Sydney, because would provide you with, say, your top 7 matches rather than like a list of 100.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like it, mate. It's great, and like for my initial chat with you at the expo, I just thought, yeah, this is definitely something I wanted our students and our database of people who are, I'd say, more savvy in terms of this area and really, way they operate their business. So, mate, yeah, I think it's a great concept, great idea, and it's just for me a bit of a no-brainer if I was running a business at that level and wanted to get involved in it, mate. Anything else that stands out? Otherwise, I can change over so you can take control and maybe people can view
Yeah,
your
change it
screen.
over and yeah, exactly. Change it over to my screen
Oh,
and I can show you what we've got right now.
okay, all right,
Okay,
there we go.
so
I can see yours. Beautiful.
yeah, so once you register and log in, it's free, obviously. So this is a client right now. So I've say maybe I've searched for find a personal trainer app. I've come across Pummel. The registration's pretty basic. It's just asking for email, name, gender, things like that.
Yep.
And then this will come up straight away and say, what are you looking at? Do you care about your gender? Is it like, am I looking for a male or female? Am I more comfortable with a male or female? That simple question, a lot of people in our research do actually care. They may want a particular gender that they feel more comfortable with. Your location is, do you want boot camp or do you want a gym or that type of thing? So if I go ahead and I'll just open up the app. Let me just do this. Get to see my password, which is nice. So yeah, if I choose that, I can change to outdoor, private studio, boot camp, etc. Again, one of the things that living in, the Burleigh Head sort of area there's just so many of these great little studios that sometimes you just don't know about because they're hidden down the back of, some industrial estate and things like that. So they're the type of trainers we want to actually get on there. Some of the ones that, they do have these cool little studios that you'd much prefer to do that rather than go to like a mainstream gym.
Yeah.
They're people that we're sort of aiming for. So there, as a consumer, you can see I've got a big list there of different things. We can go muscle, core strength, metabolic, conditioning, MetaFit, Olympic lifting, etc. So, weight loss is the obvious one, but we also got wellness and yoga and things. So you select what you want, and then it'll get your locations. It's taking my current location where I am, and it'll start to return some people. So Pete here. So if I click on Pete, I get to learn a little bit about Pete. So he's sort of specializing there in weight loss, body transformation, high intensity training. You can see he's doing this 25-minute group fitness. And he's got his website there. So great qualifications. He's got a Bachelor of Exercise Science, a Certificate 3 and 4 in fitness. He's obviously done TRX, kettlebell, etc. So I can get quite a bit of information about Pete in a very quick period of time. I can go back and keep looking. Lindy, Shona, whoever it may be, I can just browse through the people in the area. So this is someone who's a little bit further away, but you can see, again, great information that he's got on there. He's done his master trainer. He's obviously talking on public health and fitness. So that particular coach might be, you might feel more comfortable with that type of coach rather than someone else. So we sort of want everyone to put
Cameron. Cameron was an old past client of ours.
Yeah, so you want everyone, so we go back to Cameron there, we want everyone to put a photo of them because, that tells a great story, as you know, and everyone has different specialties. So Geordie here, this is our premium service, so you'll notice he's got his logo on there. So that logo is a premium service. That's the only difference between the standard one and his. And you'll see his logo again on there. So he's from the Sunshine Coast, and we can see he's promoting his particular gym that he works in, etc. So this is just returning a whole range of people in the area.
Anthony as well.
Right,
there you go.
So if we click plus there, then it basically says, this is your chance to say hi to Anthony, and then we jump into the messaging, and I can just send him a message here and say, hi Anthony, I'm interested to know about your services, etc. And when I send that, Anthony will get a little notification to say, check out Damien. Damien's interested to find out more about your services. And that's sort of the end of the lead. It's totally up to Anthony to decide if he wants to respond or wants to try and, convert that person. So we're not getting messed in with any sort of taking payments or doing anything crazy like that.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's sort of the core part of the app. If I click on that, I can see messages. So this is where, I've just had that conversation with Anthony. So I can actually send Anthony a photo, and we can, so once we've got that relationship going, it could be that I send pictures of my food or he sends pictures to me. He can send me information both ways, which is just nice. Again, that's all within the one app. It's not SMS. If I go to another phone, it's all retained in my storage. All those benefits you get from applications you get with Pummel. Vice versa, if Pummel sends me a message back, I'll get a little notification which will show a little star next to that mailbox there down the bottom. So you'll see that's quite an easy way to sort of start talking to people and so forth.
Yeah, I like it.
Go over, yeah, this is my profile, so I can post photos and things here as well. So we sort of have an Instagram of such as well, where everyone can post their photos into the community. And we're going to improve this over time so that maybe you only see the posts from the other clients of your trainer once you've got a trainer. So we're still sort of building on this particular area, but ultimately allows you to, like and comment, and basically we want people to put photos to help motivate the Pummel community. It's pretty much everyone within the Pummel community, which we're going to start off in Australia, but we're going to very quickly sort of widen that out to around the world as well. So in theory, in the same way as we found Anthony there,
Mm.
I actually asked Anthony just for some advice. I know he's a specialty, he's got a specialty in wellness. I could just, it's a great Q&A platform as well that you could essentially have. Here's a platform and a community of the best health and fitness experts from around the world.
Yeah, that's great. I see there's mate, there was it had 100% rating on it. What was that? Was that what you were talking about before, or I see on his
Yeah,
page?
yeah, that's exactly what we were sort of talking about. That each time you do a workout, you could do some sort of rating there. And yeah, we're still trying to work through the best way for that to sort of make sense to the client and be fair to the customer and things like that. So we're very much, we want to build a product that personal trainers love and they want to use every day. So um, the more we get to speak to them, the more we're able to modify and make the product better. So we didn't want to just jump ahead on that rating thing, but ultimately that's what we're thinking, that there'll be some way to sort of give feedback to your trainer about how the session was.
Like it, it's excellent. Mate, it looks really good. I love. I mean, I'm sure from you behind the scenes, it wasn't. It's not that easy, but it looks really simple and effective to use.
Yeah, yeah, I think it should be very easy to, it's quite obvious what you're doing. It's got a clear purpose. You're there to find the trainer. And then, like I said, after that, we want just that little retention element where you come back and you post things. So the next, we may actually do this before we launch, but we are thinking of doing that little session thing. So that area where you can just log a session as a trainer so that the client gets some sort of feedback to say, I've done 4 sessions in the last month. I probably should be doing 10. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
basically just getting more information back to them about the value that they're getting from this service, and just how great it is having a personal trainer, and how you need to, or help in, like I said, the nutrition thing's a huge thing as well. That, with this is giving you the ability to, if you've got clients, you can use the app to give them food advice, to post photos of stuff, to put recipes, and I suppose what would have been Facebook groups in the old days, we also see Pummel sort of maybe replacing the private Facebook group over time.
Yeah, I like it. That's excellent. Um, Mate, anything else that we need to show the guys or get an understanding of it? Was it pretty much covered it?
No, I think that's pretty much covered it. I think, like I said, this is an early stage at the moment. Where we want to go is we want to keep on improving things. And so we're sort of asking our foundation members, so anyone who signs up prior to launch, we're doing basically a free version for many of our foundation members. We've got a cut-off on that, but we've still got a few places left. So if people want to get in and come on, and all we do is ask them to follow us on Instagram, Pummel App, and Facebook, Pummel App. And then also to provide feedback, to put some of their clients in and say, look, this is too tedious. We know people are so busy, so we want to make something really easy to use that they can do without thinking. And it's sort of that feedback that's really valuable to us right now.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm assuming people who listen to this are probably already starting to get an idea if this is for them or not. But maybe the first step or the step from here, if someone is interested in finding out more about it or having a more in-depth look, then they, I guess, go to the website here. Hey, the Bumble
Yeah, Pummel
.fit.
FIT.
Yeah, and
So you can sign up on the spot as well. Like I said, we've got a free version that we're keeping open for the moment. And we also, if you want to get your logo on there, like you would have seen in one of those profiles to help sort of promote your business or your studio, we're just charging $49 for 12 months. Again, super cheap at the moment, but it's just because we want to try and build a community, and we're expecting it will take some time for you to get lots of leads, but yeah, we're also trying to work with some pretty big corporates now. We're getting some inroads in. So if some of those come off, then there could be a good chance that there's lots of clients coming in here looking for trainers.
Yeah, mate, love it. So I guess they can go to the site here. They can register now. There's the free version. Or they could just get started. But most importantly, I guess the first step is for someone who's really serious about finding out more. Get yourself over to the Pummel, website. Take a look around. Get registered if it's for you. And I definitely would recommend that. From what I've seen and what I've looked at in our discussions, if you are serious about getting yourself out there and making yourself available at this platform, then it's a bit of a no-brainer. You can have I don't believe you can ever have enough leads, and especially quality ones at that. So, mate, look, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on board, mate. We're gonna send this out as a podcast. We're also going to send it out to our database and our list Facebook page as well. So, for those who've been listening, also if you know anybody else in the industry who wouldn't have seen this, then we really encourage you to make sure you forward on so they can get it as well, and not miss out on this opportunity. Mate, you did say that there's a few spots left for the free version, but that's going to be rather closing soon due to the numbers being full. Or is there a deadline date as well where that's happening?
Yeah, it's sort of until we launch. So we're sort of launching early 2017, potentially as early as January, depending on how many features we put in. So yeah, it's getting pretty close. Then I know everyone's sort of winding down now, so now's the time to sign up.
Yeah, perfect. Well, mate, look, thanks again for taking the time out. I'm looking forward to really building a long relationship and working in with you, and having our own personal students get exposed to this, mate. And again, congratulations on getting this up. And I really love your mission and your vision that you're using with this particular software. And thanks for sharing that with us today.
Yes, no worries. Thanks very much as well for all your help, Jason. And yeah, we look forward to working with you as well.
Pleasure. All right, mate. You take care, and we'll chat soon.
Yes. Bye, mate. It's amazing how quick it goes, isn't it?